of this kind of thing. So let's talk about a general strategy for sketching. So the first part of the strategy, if you like, let's see, I have it all plotted out here, so I'm going to make sure I get it exactly the way I wanted you to say it. Oh, okay, so I have, it's plotting. The plot thickens. Here we go. All right, so plot. What is it that you should plot first? Before you even think about derivatives, you should plot discontinuities, especially the infinite ones. All right? That's the first thing you should do. And then you should plot endpoints, or ends, or x going to plus or minus infinity if there don't happen to be any finite ends to the problem. And the third thing you can do is plot any easy points. This is optional and at your discretion. You might, for instance, on this example, plot the places where the graph crosses the axis, all right, if you want to. All right, so that's the first part, and again, this is all pre-calculus. So now, in the second part, we're going to solve this equation, and we're going to plot the critical points and values. All right, in the problem which we just discussed, there weren't any. So this part was empty. All right, so the third step is to decide whether whether f prime is positive or negative on each interval. Between critical points, discontinuities. The direction of the sign, in this case, it doesn't change. It goes up here, and it also goes up here, but it could go up here and then come back down. So the direction can change at every critical point. It can change at every discontinuity, and you don't know. However, this particular step has to be consistent with 1 and 2, with steps 1 and 2. In fact, it will never, if you can succeed in doing steps 1 and 2, you'll never need step 3. All it's doing is double checking. Okay? So if you made an arithmetic mistake somewhere, you'll be able to see it. So that's maybe the most important thing, and it's actually the most frustrating thing for me when I see people working on problems, is they start with step 3, they get it wrong, and then they start trying to draw the graph, and it doesn't work because it's inconsistent. And the reason is some arithmetic error with the derivative or something like that, or some other misinterpretation. And then there's a total mess. If you start with these 2 steps, then you're going to know when you get to this step that you're making mistakes. People don't generally make as many mistakes with the first 2 steps. All right, anyway, in fact, you can skip this step if you want. But that's at risk of not double checking your work. All right, so what's the fourth step? Well, we take a look at whether f double prime is positive or negative. And so we're deciding on things like whether it's concave up or down. And we have these points, f double prime of x is equal to 0, which are called inflection points. And the last step is just to combine everything. All right, so this is the scheme, the general scheme. And let's just carry it out in a particular case.